Okay, we're at a rest area right off I-75. We're at a scenic lookout. We're on our way to Rhinelander, Wisconsin for a...
Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. This week's video is going to be a little different. You see, I inherited my father's video camera, and as I was going through it, I noticed he had some leftover video on it. He basically purchased this camera to kind of document road trips that he took with Mom, and you know, I don't know how many of these road trips he actually documented. I did find this one, and I thought I'd like to put it together and share it with you know, the rest of the world. I do know he did one for the Badlands when him and Mom went out to the Badlands and Mount Rushmore. I did see that one, and Mom said that he, you know, had a few more, but I don't know if he's got more made up. I don't know if he did this one or not. I just thought I'd take it upon myself and have a little fun with it. Now this trip was basically to Rhinelander, Wisconsin. It was for a family reunion, and the time code on the recordings was correct. It was from 2018, which is roughly about right. They did them about every 5 years, so it's 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Yeah, they're probably due for another one this year. So yeah, if you stay through it and watch it, I thank you. If not, you know, because it's not car related, you know, and you don't watch it, you know, I completely understand. So yeah, let's get right back to it and enjoy.
Family reunion. And we're right now about 30 miles from Mackinac Bridge. And we're going to stay the night in St. Ignace. Here we are, we're just getting ready to go over the Mackinac
Watch
Bridge.
that car.
Up on the, I think it's 5 miles across or something like that. Off to the right is Mackinac Island. Off to the left is St. Helens Island. My Garmin is showing water on both sides. I don't know what the speed is. It's supposed to be.
I was going to say 35, but I'm wrong.
When I was a kid, we used to have to take the ferry across both ways because my dad lived up in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, and we'd go back every summer so he could see his mother. And like I say, we took the ferry both ways, and we actually watched the bridge being built. I don't know if my dad ever actually got to go across the bridge. This is the view from the balcony of our room. This place is called the Bavarian House, or Haus, in St. Ignace, Michigan, just across the bridge. Supposedly they have bonfires at night. Right down there's the bonfire pit. There's a couple kids out there swimming. Way out that way is Mackinac Island. Here's the Mackinac Bridge on the UP side, or the Upper Peninsula side of the straits, and this is then Lake Michigan that you're seeing. Day 2 of our trip, and we're on our way to Rhinelander, going on Highway 2, following all the way across the lake. There's a couple of visitors looking for a handout. We're still on Highway 2. We're at a rest area, and it has a little walkway out the way you can go out and watch Lake Michigan. See some of the shoreline all the way out to that point. We're just at a rest stop just outside of the city of Iron Mountain. Still got a couple hours before we get into Rhinelander. It's a little rest area with little waterfalls. A little viewing area up at the top. We're in Iron Mountain. We just drove by Joe LaFay's and Emily's house when she lived here in Iron Mountain. And this is a lake, I think it was called Lake Anton, or going by Joe's place, nothing has changed. The roof on the garage is falling in. I don't think he likes us being in here. We're taking a tour of the Lassick farm, or the Lassick dairy. The Lassicks were part of the Scheidegger family. The main Lassick mother was a Scheidegger. And this was a dairy for years and years.
Happy to see somebody out here.
As near as we can figure, this is the original Samuel Scheidegger's farm, because it backed up to a lake, and just beyond these houses is the lake. And then the farm was turned over to Alfred, and then later on my grandfather John and my grandmother Bertha had a farm across the road. And then down this road over here was where the Lassick farm was at, that we just were at. This is another section of the Scheidegger original family homestead. And as I was a kid, I remember coming out to this spot on the lake one time, and I believe at that time my Aunt Ella owned this, or was part owner of this property. And back across the lake is the rest of the homestead. There's another section of the, what would be the, I guess, the original Scheidegger thing, and this was something that was built by some farmer for, I don't know, outdoor cooking, maybe grilling or something, because we're right near the lake. Right down there is the lake. This is another view, another section of where the original Scheidegger farm was. And apparently up here where this lilac tree is was where the barn was at.
It's beautiful. I've been there.
Oh yeah, you haven't been here yet.
There's an indentation in the land here,
She died
and supposedly
sometime between 1889.
a woman was buried here, and they had to move the grave
Process of him
Yes.
after the property was sold.
He applied for it.
The suspicion is it was Sophie Scheidegger, Samuel's second wife.
When it talked about the family, it talked about 4 young children, not a wife.
Okay.
So she's gone.
And she was
Sophie. Samuel.
She would have been Samuel's second wife.
Okay.
And the mother of 3 of his children.
Samuel got around.
We wonder about
no
Samuel.
idea.
We wonder why he left Switzerland.
We're in the Forest Lawn Cemetery in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. This is where the Scheidegger's plot is at, and my great-grandfather and my grandfather are buried here, plus some other family members. And also coming from Rhinelander is this John Heisman, and he's who the Heisman Trophy was named after. This is Sunday, the day after our reunion, and we're on a Wisconsin riverboat that's going to take us on a tour down the Wisconsin River. Hopefully we'll see some wildlife. And this is a little bit of the river that we're seeing right now. I guess it's like about a 2-hour trip. And it's a Sunday morning. It's called the Bloody Mary Cruise. So I'm indulging in having a Bloody Mary. The bridge over there, that's Highway 8. Sandy, being a teetotaler, is just having her root beer. I'm doing a selfie now. I didn't know I could do that with this camera. But then I'll show you my Bloody Mary. There's my Bloody Mary drink. They put a beef stick in there. That'll be my Sunday morning lunch. So we're on our way. The boat dock is way down there, and he just backed up the river a little ways and backed into a little cove, and now we're heading on down the river. Probably go down the river about an hour and then turn around, come back. I think my cousin Bill said there's a dam down here, so we're hoping to see some sights.
Okay, the first eagle's nest is just to the right of the boat, just a little bit ahead of it. Not a particularly large sized nest, but a decent one. Generally do come back to the same spot in the same nest year after year. Now the first time that an eagle is born, they do not get that white colored base or head and tail feathers.
We just kind of went around this island, and they have these, what they call a deadhead, that get stuck on the river. And sometimes they have new ones that appear out of nowhere. And there was one right back in there. You can't see it now because it was almost, underwater. And the boat hit it, and we had to do a little bit of maneuver to get out of it. Yeah, there you might be able to see it now.
It's okay, we're all good.
Right there is the end of our journey. We're taking a slow turn around. This, I guess, is what they call the Hat Rapid Dam. Hat Rapids. And supposedly, according to our pilot, the guy who built this dam, who was Mr. Forbes, just before they, put it into service, was standing here, and a gust of wind came along and blew his hat off down in the rapids at the river, and so the name became the Hat Rapids Dam. Right here, near the dam here, they have a few docks and boats that are tied up. And there's a home up there, very nice home. And then there was a barn near there. We're now on our way back down the river. Just about at the end of our trip, we're on our way back. We've just seen an eagle up in the tree, sitting up there. Tried to take some pictures. I don't know how it came out. We'll be able to see later. So, it was a nice cruise. Didn't see as much wildlife as maybe we had hoped for, but still got to see a little bit.
Water ski show started all weekend after the 4th. The sun is shining, the glare on the lake. He doesn't have skis, but woo! Here we go!
Well, this is Monday and we're on our way down to Appleton, going through this little town, I think of Gleason, on Highway 17. Seen these old trucks, so I thought I would stop and take a picture one. Right there's an old, looks like a dump truck. I think my grandfather used to have one similar to that. The other one is looks like it was a flatbed truck, or might have had something else on the back of it. Don't see them like that anymore.
And like,
Okay, we need some words of wisdom.
we need some words of wisdom.
Yeah.
I'm fresh out of wisdom.
Okay, well, how about doing that rumba
Rumba?
from that
Buster's gotta
chocolate?
do it first. Where you
Wiggle them hips, we'll rumba.
What's that?
Buster needs to do it first.
What do you mean Buster needs it? But Buster's doing the filming.
At least I said Buster's doing the filming. Rumba.
Okay.
Get that off me. Put our butts together.
This is the back of Butch and Susie's house. Out here. And right there's the mayor of Saint Germain.
Okay, we ready?
So that's why I hesitate.
This is Butch, Susie, and Sandy, the big losers at the card game.
You
The guy taking the photos was the big winner.
I was the big loser, always on bottom, 5-7, who knows how many games. I was on the top for one round. Hey, I was second
I
for
think-
one hand.
Oh, for one round, yeah, that's right.
I took second last night.
Oh, okay.
David definitely was second every time player.
And Sandy played against me.
I tell you what, next time we're here, 3 of us. I don't care who we lose, we'll set him every time.
Yeah.
You won't win next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a plan.
All right, you can go ahead on.
We just boarded the Badger for our trip across from Manitowoc to Ludington. And this is just a little bit of the port area of Manitowoc. That looks like a grain elevator. Might be wrong on that, but that's what it looks like. And over there, looks like a power plant. And back down over there, I was told they had a submarine. And right there over there, I think is a submarine. And here is the other side of the ship. Over there they got a boat dock for small boats. Swinging around, you got there's a sailboat coming in without its sails. And right there's the lighthouse. And right there's the entrance of the harbor. And then the other break wall. Back up, back there is the backup of the cars that are left to come on board. There you can see one coming on board. I see by the line way back there that ours is already on board. So I don't think we'll be the first to get off. Hope we're not the last. Still got a line of passengers to get on board. Well, the boat is underway, and I would say we're right on time. We're going to be passing the lighthouse here in just a matter of a couple minutes.
First aid is available.
Okay, there's the lighthouse.
If you have a medical emergency,
We're just leaving the
please notify the first
entrance to the port.
immediately. If you are subject to motion sickness, cruise director's office has C-bands available for a small amount. You contact the front right. C-bands can be obtained at any time during the cruise. Various motion sickness medications can be purchased in the battery gift shop just over to the water.
Okay, 4.5 hours from now, or about 4 hours, we'll see land and we'll be docking. And fortunately, it quit raining, and hopefully no thunderstorms. There's the Michigan. There's probably at least a half hour from pulling in the port or docking, and probably be another who knows how long before we get our car off. Got a much bigger load than what we had the last time we came. We're backing into dock at Ludington. Had a good trip across. Had an okay meal on the boat. And probably about 8:30 we hopefully in that area we should be home.